I'm choosing for myself to release it, to let it be something that's gonna make me the strong young woman that I know I am. That's what I'm gonna use it for. So anybody else, I hope that you choose the same thing. I remember when I saw you, I said, what's up? Now I see you in the morning when I wake up. He like me with no makeup. We get mad sometimes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be doing a pretty serious video. It's not that serious. I'm mainly doing this for myself. I'm doing it because I'm doing a self-love, you know, just building myself, and it's some things that I need to get off my chest and release so I could be better, so I can feel better, so I can move on from these past pains and things like that, things that have hurt me in the past. So with that being said, I wrote a letter and I'm gonna read it to you guys. This video is not gonna be a story time. I'm not gonna be telling you guys about what happened to me. I'm not gonna be going into that because I just feel like, for one, I'm not ready to do that. And for two, that's just way too much business to be doing. But if you look at the title, you know what this video is about. And if you're here, I hope that if this has happened to you, or any type of abuse that has happened to you, I hope that this inspires you to, you know, make this challenge. Write a letter about it, release it, write a letter about it. You could write a letter, put it in the trash because it doesn't need to stay in your life. You know, you're letting it go, put it in the trash. Or write a letter, put a balloon, and release it into the air. Whatever you need to do to release it. I pray and I hope that this will inspire you to do the same thing that I'm doing, because we all need to learn how to love ourselves, and we can't correctly love ourselves if we don't let go of the things that has been holding us or been breaking us on the inside. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and read my letter. And it says, this is me confronting my past. This one moment has affected in how I feel about myself, as well as all my relationships, whether it is romantically, family-wise, friend-wise. It has affected me. I know I'm not fully healed from the pain it caused, but I am in the process of healing. Me writing this letter is a step towards releasing my pain. Do I regret what happened to me? I don't, because I believe you can't let what you go through hold you hostage. It is up to you to make a positive out of a negative situation. And I also said, this is something that I learned through going through this, just the after effect, not really, you know, when it happened. What I learned after was, God doesn't allow bad things to happen to you to hurt you. When he created man, he gave us the ability to be free moral agents, able to choose right from wrong, able to choose what we want to do, how we want to do things. You have that choice. Nobody can make you do anything. God can't make you do anything, but he has given you the option to choose right. And so therefore, he doesn't allow these things to happen. But when they do happen, it's for a reason. And it's up to you, since you are a free moral agent, and since it's something that's happening to you, it's up to you to choose whether you want to let this hold you, break you. It's up to you. And I'm choosing for myself to release it, to let it be something that's gonna make me the strong young woman that I know I am. That's what I'm gonna use it for. So anybody else, I hope that you choose the same thing. I also said, of course, at the time, I questioned why me, but I learned and I prayed and I built a personal relationship with God to understand, you know, to understand basically that we are free moral agents. You know, stuff doesn't just happen to you because God wants it to happen. Of course, I feel like
anything that happens is in God's will, and he probably does know that, okay, this is gonna happen to my baby, this is gonna happen to my child, but I'm gonna be able to be there to help her if she chooses me. And so yeah, going through this was a mental thing for me because I chose to do it alone. I didn't tell anybody. When I finally, admitted it and told my parents, it was a couple of weeks before I was leaving for college to move out. I'm not really sure why I decided to tell them, because I'm the type of person, I feel like I hold stuff in. I do. And I didn't need to do that. But me actually saying it out loud and admitting and telling somebody, it brought back up the pain, because when I did finally tell you guys, I'm a sophomore in college right now, and I told them, before my freshman semester began, and this happened to me when I was maybe like 14, 15, and I want to say I was going into my sophomore year. It was the summer before sophomore year of high school. So when I finally decided to say something, I had bottled all this pain in for so long, and never acknowledged it, pushed it to the back of my mind, and just tried to forget about it, basically. And when I finally said something about it, it brought back up pain. It brought back up these questions. It brought back up these crying nights, crying myself to sleep. It kind of brought back my depression as well, because going through this, I went through a really bad depression stage. I was crying a lot. I didn't want to be on earth. It just brought me to a very negative mind state, and I just feel like if you know about depression, then that's a state of mind that you can't really get out of. It's something that you have to pray about. It's something that you have to have people speaking positive things into your life. And for me, I prayed so much during this time, because my point of actually not, pursuing or taking my depression even further was the fact that I felt like God wouldn't allow anything to happen to me that wasn't supposed to happen, nothing to happen to me that's not supposed to build me. And I just felt like it's more than this that is for my life. It's more for me than to stop my life right now for this one moment. I can't let that hold me back, because I know there is so much more for my life. It's so much more that God has in store for me. Like, I know that there's something that God wants for me, and it's not this. It's not for me to stop my life this soon because of this. Yes, it's bad, it's horrible, it's terrible, it's the worst feeling. I wouldn't wish this on anybody to experience, but I knew in my heart, deep down, as I thought about it, as I cried myself to sleep, I thought about it, and I had to tell myself, I had to preach this to myself, that God has more for you, Ashlyn. God has way more for you. And I just feel like, while we're on the topic, being in school for this little semester, when I came back, it just seemed like rape was just a topic that just kept coming up. I heard a couple people say it, or it would be brought up in my class, we'd be discussing it, and I just felt like, I would just sit back and listen, listen to what people say. And I've noticed that a lot of people question a person when they say that this is something that they've experienced. And that's been a lot of what has held me back from even saying anything, because you shouldn't. I know that there are people that, lie about what has happened to them, but at the same time, I don't think it's smart, because you don't know what has happened to a person. You don't know what something has happened to them, or whether they're lying or not. So being that this is such a horrible thing that could have happened to a person, if they tell you this has happened to them, don't question them. Don't question them at all, because at the end of the day, questioning them or denying that this may have happened to them is something that could bring them back to that negative state. I never want anybody to question me about something that was so horrible, something that brought me down to my lowest, like something that made me want to harm myself, something that made me want to, end my life. And when I finally admitted, because it took me a long time to do it, and I hear a lot of questions like, well, why didn't she say anything? Well, why didn't she, tell anybody that this had happened to her? Why did it take her so long? You're not in that state. You're not in that mind. And this didn't happen to you. You didn't experience it. So you can't understand why a person is not saying anything, because it takes a toll on every person differently. For me, I feel like I need to deal with it myself. I feel like it was my fault. I feel like I need to deal with it myself. I feel like I had disappointed everybody if I tell somebody that. Like, at the mind state I was 14, 15, I'm young. I felt like it was my fault. I did. And that's why I didn't say anything. So, being that I feel like it was my fault, I had to deal with it. I had to, figure out what's next. Figure out what you're going to do, Ashley, Yeah, this happened to me, but, you just need to move on. Let it go. Don't even bring it up, Ashley, because this was your fault from jump. That's how I felt. So I feel like you don't know what a person is going through. You don't know how it took a toll on them. You don't know if it was something that just really brought them down, and I'm sure it did bring anybody that has had this experience to them. It's degrading. Like, it's something that nobody should ever have to feel. You should never feel helpless. You should never feel like you can't help yourself. And it's just not smart for anybody that has not experienced this for you to question a person that is claiming to have experienced this. If they're saying it and they're being vocal about it and it's taking them a long time, it doesn't really matter how long it takes a person to say something, or it doesn't matter how long it takes a person to acknowledge what happened. It happened, and since they're acknowledging it, it should be respected. It should be validated. It should be something that should be taken seriously. And that's just how I feel about it. Again, I'm gonna just cut this short. I feel like I got my point across. I feel like I feel better. I also just feel like if there's anybody out there that has experienced the same thing, I hope this inspires you. This is for me to get this off my chest. It's for me to bring awareness, because it might look pretty on the outside. It might look all dolled and glammed up, but on the inside, it could be something horrible. It could be something that's broken. So, I'm just cut this short and end this. I'm so proud of myself because I thought I was gonna cry, and I didn't cry. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. If anybody wants to reach out to me or talk to me about this situation, don't ask me what happened, but just talk about the feeling, or talk about what has bothered you or how I dealt with it or things like that. You definitely can do that. I might actually do something else. I'm not gonna mention what I might do, but you guys can send me your letters if you want to send me your letters. It's all gonna be anonymous. I'm not gonna record and read it, anything like that, but just to share, get something off your chest, release it. I'm definitely down for that. So that is the end of this video, you guys. I got this video idea from a girl named Brooklyn. I can't really remember her channel, but I'm definitely gonna put it in the description box, and I might also put it up here in the corner. So with that being said, I'm done, and